Hi everybody, this is Sabrina, your host of About This Aging Thing, and look who's back. It's R.Christopher. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself, but before he does that, I just want to say to him, thank you for being here again. Once again, he's the first man of the year as a guest, so that's pretty exciting. And he's got some stuff we're going to talk about together.
Yeah.
And we're going to, listen, I know last time we were together, we were really silly.
That's
Because he
not
always
going
be
to
trying
change.
to see.
That's not going to change.
See?
You know.
Always trying to tell me what to do. But anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Chris, and then we're going to talk about what we're drinking. Go ahead, Chris.
Good evening. Hello, everybody. Really happy to be back here. And let's talk about some life-changing scenarios. And again, my name is R.Christopher. I'm a life skills coach. Also, I'm actually athletic coach as well. They go one and the same. One rides the other. And when I get the opportunity, I like to assist people in their life circumstances and help them grow and develop and maximize their abilities and God gifted talents as well. So I'm just happy to be back with my sis right here.
Mm-hmm.
And just any information that I can share that's bestowed upon me by the Almighty, I'm gonna do so, and I love doing it. So here we go.
Here we go. Well, first I'm drinking some mushroom coffee. It's not good, but it's good for me. So I'm drinking it. What you drinking, Chris?
And I'm always people always trying to talk about what I do and how I do. I start mixing my drink here. It's like, mango puree with some apple juice I put in it. I like the natural stuff. I will be here for a long time.
Yes, so you will.
Deal with
Take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
I know you're taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking care of myself too. You should say, sis, I'm proud of you for drinking that nasty mushroom tea.
Sis, I'm proud of you for drinking that nasty mushroom tea.
I just drink it knowing it's supposed to be good for me. So
Exactly.
All right, let's kick it off, Chris. We talked about this is a new year.
Absolutely.
It's the year of abundance.
That's right.
Abundance is not just money. It could be relationships, love, all kinds of wonderful things, right? And you being a coach, life coach, let's start talking about what you would suggest to people who are looking for love or just a good relationship in 2024.
First thing I'll say is, just to say, looking is not the thing I would say. Looking is not it. Mm-hmm. Being is more so. Being what it is that you want. I truly understand based on my life, being what you want is what you're going to receive. If you want a nice, great, loving relationship, of course you have to be nice, great, and loving. Mm-hmm. So if you exude that energy comes out of you, then normally that's what you're going to receive. People tend not to believe that that's a case in life, but it is. Even the most darkest secrets within you, a lot of times come out because of the people that's around you, and you be like, why did I choose that person? Actually, it's a part of who you are. And it might be that deep dark secret or that deep dark dynamic that you have, that you need to see so you can change it. That's very important. So I'll say in this new year, don't actually look, just be. Mm-hmm. Just be who you want to be in your life, and those people will come to you. And patience is another thing.
Patience. Let me speak on that because I've experienced both. Mm-hmm. Before I became as conscious as I am now. Mm-hmm. When I was younger, I don't want to call anybody out, but I used to be with a person who was not the best person for me. Mm-hmm. And I used to complain about the person. Mm-hmm. And somebody said to me, who was conscious, mm-hmm. that person is a reflection of you.
Absolutely.
You drew that person to you because of how you are.
Right.
And what did I say? Oh, no,
no way. What?
I'm this, I'm that. And
you don't
this
know me.
and
I'm just doing the woman part of it. That's the woman part. But the man part is, man, get out of here.
Right.
You know what you're talking about.
So I was offended until I started to study and learn under different people, like Minister Ryan, like myself. Right. And then I realized, okay, yeah, I drew that to myself. Absolutely. Once I was able to face myself and release that ego, I realized that's what I did. Now, fast forward to many years after that, I was a different person.
Right.
And I attracted a wonderful person.
Right.
Who was almost unreal.
Right.
And I realized when I attracted, and I wasn't trying. I had decided I was focusing on my daughter, my career.
Mm-hmm.
My career was great. You know what I mean? So I wasn't even looking for anybody.
She's talking to me like I don't remember this whole
I know,
thing.
but I'm
I know
telling
she's
the audience,
stretching up.
right?
No.
I know you know the story.
I know the whole story. Not only did I know the story, I remember when she came to me with it. I just got to cut in right there. You know, this is that part that she's not going to like. All right, we'll go on.
Anyway,
go ahead, sis.
So I said it to say, because I knew that what you're saying is so true,
Right.
that when I attracted this person and I fought it tooth and nail initially, and when I finally let him in and I saw how he was, I knew that I had become a better person.
Right.
Because of who he was, because of who I attracted.
Right.
I had nothing to do with who he was,
Right.
but because of who I attracted, I knew, oh, you're there. You're a better person, the person I want to be.
Right.
So I just say that what you're saying is absolutely true. I've experienced it on both ends.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And we've all had experiences that we have to kind of go back and just you internalize it to realize what it is that, that why that person came into my life. And and people go around in circles in the question. And the one thing I learned, in life period, and even in experiences with other people, is that, what we should do for our own best interest in our lives is not to reflect, let me say it another way. What we need to do is actually look in the mirror. Let's make it real simple. Look in the mirror and really have that conversation with ourselves and be honest. See, honesty for yourself. Hell with everybody else.
Right.
Honesty within yourself.
Right.
You will start finding out a lot more of the whys.
Yes.
Of the whys. People tend, and there's people who don't want to know the whys.
That's
they just
right.
want to be right there. And then for those people, guess what's going to happen? They're going to continue in that same cycle. And when you continue in the same cycle, that means you haven't learned. You haven't learned yet.
Exactly.
If you continue to get the same thing, you haven't learned yet.
That's the other thing I was going to say. When I met that person, I was like, oh, my lesson.
Yep.
I knew that I had learned my lesson
Exactly.
because I was blessed with that person.
Exactly.
Right. I agree.
So, it's good. Again, this new year, one of the things about this new year, when people come with their, what they're trying to accomplish, what they're trying to do, what you focus your energy on is also your attention. Is what it is that you're gonna,
Manifest.
you're gonna manifest it. You're gonna see it. You're gonna visualize it, and then some of the things you think you should be trying to manifest, and you might be rolling around in circles with it. At those times, you might need to reflect. You might be going in the wrong direction. Might be going in the wrong direction, or it's one of those things that you need to, take a step back and just say, am I approaching it correctly?
Right.
It might be the right thing, but your approach to it may be incorrect. And so therefore you're delaying your blessing, or you're delaying what you want to try to achieve. So
I just had an epiphany listening to you.
Yeah. All right, get out of the now. Remember, we in front of this camera.
I'm not gonna.
Don't.
No.
Sometimes you be like, it's like one of the moments. Oh, I almost said it's like one of the moments in the bedroom that, woo, you forget that you're there.
Yeah. Listening to you, I just realized I had another epiphany.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a good thing though.
Always.
Good lesson.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel. Do you believe that, let's say someone likes someone and they're attracted and they're trying, right? And that person is not feeling them the same. Do you feel that person, I was just thinking that person may not be feeling you the same because they're not for you. Sometimes we take it very personal. What's wrong with me? Why don't you like me? I'm nice to you, blah, blah, blah. But that person may not be the right person for you, which is why it's almost like the universe is trying to save you some time. If you pay attention. If you're paying attention and you don't try to, because a lot of times people try to control other people and they want them to be what they're not, and then they get mad when you're not who I want you to be. But I always tell my daughter, if you don't like who you're with exactly the way they are, then don't be with them.
Oh, no.
Don't be with
absolutely.
them. If you're with them because they got the potential to do something, you can't marry potential, you can't be with potential, that doesn't work. And if they're not giving you the same energy back that you're giving them, I mean, you can do what you want to do, but just have things in perspective in your brain that you know this person's not for me because they're not giving me what I'm giving them.
Well, one of the things y'all, I know I tend to advise, no matter what the situation is. I mean, if the worst thing about that person, if you can't live with it for the rest of your life,
that's what I say.
All right.
Yes.
Leave it alone because
that's right.
That thing is not changing.
It's not.
So if that's that thing that you cannot stand, run like hell.
Yep. Okay. And sometimes it might change if they choose to change it for themselves, and that'd be a to me that's on them. That's a gift.
That's
but
on them.
I agree with you.
But if you can't take it,
that's right.
We're talking about the individual
right.
who might be in this infatuation or mode, and they're like, wow, I love how that person looks.
Right.
I love. It's just that energy, something they give them at the moment, but they start finding out that this is not, there's that thing that happens and be like, oh, I don't like that,
right?
And it does, and each time it comes up, it gives you this feeling of it really irks me, and
right.
it turns you, it turns you away from them,
But you're still hanging on.
But you're still hanging on
because you need something to do. I know. I already know.
So those things, you just need to be conscious enough to realize that this is not what.
Right.
That's not how you need to do that. That's all. I mean, and it's simple language. It's not anything difficult. But a lot of times we're kind of stubborn.
Yeah,
we want what we want
right.
because of that. Because of whatever that is. That's that drive. And intimacy is a big drive.
Right.
And I would say. It's on both ends, men and women, it happens to. However, it appears that it happens to women more as far as being, they connected. That intimacy piece just opens up different avenues, doors, and everything for them. For men, it doesn't quite happen the same. And I think that's one of the things. I was having a conversation with a young lady one time, and she was pretty much, they make the notion, I just don't sleep with anybody.
Yeah, she don't do what?
She just don't sleep with anybody.
Oh, sleep with anybody.
So that meant, and her verbiage, and men, you need to understand this as well.
Oh, you're special.
All right, just know that you're special, and her, and that like
we in a relationship now.
You don't. I don't sleep with anybody. Meaning
right.
She's giving to give you her intimacy, she's giving her to give you herself. That means that once you open that door and get in there, what it means is that to her, you are hers. Okay? And I don't care what she says after that, you are considered hers. So, but the challenge with that, with women, they need to understand is that that's not the avenue that's going to keep a man.
It's a bad start already.
Yeah, it's not. That doesn't keep a man.
Right.
I hear this a lot, and a lot of people talk about it often now. It's like love versus respect. Women want love. Men want love too, but that's not their in and all. Men want respect.
I don't think you can love a man though without respecting him.
Well.
I can't love you if I don't respect you.
I hear what you're saying. Well, when you say respect, we're not talking about you don't respect the man. We're talking about when you don't respect them. We're talking about, okay, respect that I get up every day and go to work. It's a different scenario. Or respect that my positioning and who I am as a man, you respect that. You respect that I get up and take out the trash, okay? You respect that I open the door for you, all right? You respect the things that we necessarily don't always talk about. Respect versus love is two different things, okay? The foundation of a lot of women movement is, I love you. And the dude's like, okay, I love you too, but that's not going to keep. That's not going to keep the male. It's more or less respect. It's that a man is gathering more so the respect of a woman versus love from a woman. He needs both, but respect is the driving force. If a man, you talk about you love a man, but you don't show appreciation, I should use that word too, appreciation and respect in what they do, you know, as they maneuver and they move about, is what it is a man is looking for. That's the more foundation, not that intimacy piece.
Say that one more time. So what does keep a man? Because everybody wants to know that.
Yeah, all right. I mean, respect and appreciation.
They got to respect you, or
No,
you mean for you to respect them?
They want that.
Respect from you.
They want the respect. They want the. Okay, you can tell a man 50 million times, I love you, I love you, I love you, right? All right. It's moving. See,
As showing them respect.
As showing them respect.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so soon as women, just think about it. I know sometimes.
The voice change.
Exactly.
Killing me.
I want you to think about it. All right, because I've heard this plenty of times.
Okay.
You haven't even said you love me.
Who does that?
Stop. We're not talking about you. Okay. See, she be tripping me out on this part. We ain't talking about this. She don't need.
Asking somebody to tell me you love me is like asking somebody for an apology.
No.
It doesn't mean anything if I gotta ask you for it.
Okay, here we go with this.
Sorry, y'all.
All right,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize, bro.
All the women out there understand.
Yes.
Who look at, and the first thing, when a man tells you, if he reaches out his mouth and says, I love you, that means something for you. Okay? It means something. It's like, oh, I've been in a relationship 4 years ago, right?
You said 4 years ago?
No, I said years ago. I didn't say no number. I said years ago. Years ago.
I was trying to do the math.
I know you were trying to get the math, right? Exactly. No, I'm not doing that. All right. And I'm affectionate man. I like doing things for my significant other. I like to flower things. I like, to surprise her. I do those things, right? I was doing all those things. I'm not too verbal when it comes down to that. I'm more expressive. I'm more physically expressive. That's my way of showing my love for someone, right? None of that didn't matter as much as me saying out of my mouth, I love you.
Yeah, that's
okay. We're not talking about you. Again.
I know.
We're not talking about you. But this happens. It happens. It happens quite frequently. And I talk to it's like Valentine's Day. All right.
Please talk about that.
All right. It's on its way. You have a person who shows you all the things throughout the year of expressing this the value that value you. But here we are on Valentine's Day. They miss Valentine's Day? You mad at them for a month. Matter of fact, you might even hold it against them for the rest of their life. All right? Not realizing that this is that person's being, period. And that's what they show you on every day. Every day they show you this. All right? But that one day was more important.
Okay. That's your stuff.
That's
your stuff.
That's your stuff. One day is more important. So the difference between how men and women appreciate, express, and show love in relationships is different. And I can't expect, and I should not expect, for the woman that I'm involved with to actually see it the way I see it. And it should be vice versa. That's where the medium comes in, to where discussions need to take place.
Exactly.
An understanding needs to take place. You come to a happy medium, all right? Now, I despise Valentine's Day personally. But that it is what it is, for many reasons.
Yeah, we don't have time.
No, we don't have time for that. But,
that's another show.
Yeah, absolutely. But if I'm with someone who that's important to them. I'm going to do it.
Because you love them.
Yeah, because I love them.
And you respect them.
But it's not. But I'm going to say this though. People take that what Sis just said, and they live and die by that. All right. At times, some people just really that piece right there, it's like it has nothing to do with you. It's just what it does to them as well.
Right.
All right. So it's like, just because I'm loving and respecting you, and I'm gonna just do it anyway. There's some other people who are not gonna do it. Does it mean that they don't love and respect you? No. Doesn't mean that they don't. So again, that happy medium is gonna come within a lot of discussion and information. All right. I'm just gonna let y'all know this is my sis right here. I'm just gonna let y'all know right now. Something must be going on, because she is here, but she's like something in the universe. I know the full moon just
you
happened.
guys know I look crazy when I'm thinking.
No.
Oh my gosh. Somebody even asked me one time, what are you looking at when you were recording? I said, I'm listening.
She's listening, but no, she just ain't even listening. Right now, she might be someplace in Saturn somewhere, and we just don't know.
not.
All right, she's like,
I just want to listen. First of all, I was noticing. Okay, I know I'm a little ADD. I was noticing your hands.
What's up?
I love a brother who takes care of himself, and I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but I see your manicure.
Stop the madness. So see there. First of all,
back to go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say this
because you take care of yourself. I love
have
that.
to. You know what I'm saying? Even when I have my locks, those
you get your feet done too. Your feet look like your hands.
It's like, all I'm gonna say is this. I mean, I had parents.
I love it.
I have parents, man. I mean, my mom especially, my dad, my mom especially. She's like, you can't go out of the house with a funky mouth.
Right.
And she was the first one to actually do my hands and make sure he's talking about my feet and everything. You can't be funky. Your stuff got to be right. And she made sure that my dad was the same way. So my dad,
he's dapper.
That's what we did,
Yeah, my late husband was like that too.
Yeah.
He would find places and call me and was like, "Babe, I found a great new place for you to get your nails done." I was like, "You did?" He'd be in a chair, get his pedicure.
I know that's right.
Calling me, someone, come on up and meet me up here. Okay. Yeah.
A lot of times, I'm be honest with you. A lot of times I do it myself. I do it myself because I don't have.
You didn't do that.
I absolutely did.
Really?
Don't be playing me.
You got skills. They
Don't
look
be playing
nice.
me.
I'm sorry. Now you trying to show me. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's why I wasn't zoning out on that. I did notice your hands. I was like, wow, his hands look good. But I was listening to you, and I just wanted to interject that I agree with everything you said, which is unusual. However, I do. I agree. But however, I feel like you kind of said it. You said conversations have to be had.
Right.
So I feel like if Valentine's Day or Christmas, your birthday, if those things are really important to you, then you should let that person know from the very beginning.
Right.
And even if they say, well, I don't celebrate Christmas, you got to find a happy medium. You got to, or respect that they don't celebrate Christmas.
Right.
But if they, like you said, if they do it for you throughout the year, I would not care. If you're taking care of me throughout the year, that one day is not going to make a difference to me. And if I want to do something for you, I'm going to do it for you because I want to do it for you, not because I want you to do something back to me.
No.
Right? Some people do it and like, what you get me? I got you this. What you do for? I do it because I want to do it. I'm not looking for anything in return. Especially, well, I wouldn't even do it if you didn't do things that inspired me. I have to be inspired. You know what I'm saying? Right. I love you. I respect you for who you are. So I'm going to be inspired anyway to do things for you. Right. Just in general. I don't need you to, I'm not doing it for you to do for me though.
And we kind of reflect, and we even when we having this, we talk about in this podcast, but one thing I'm was constantly reminding me is just the different energies of individuals. We're talking and we're having these conversations not so that, to say that, you should be like, me or be like sis here. No, we're not saying that. I think more so than anything else, you need to understand your own self-reflection. You need to be in your own self-reflection. You need to understand who you are. And there are someone, and one of the things you said before is I said, there is someone for you. There's someone for everybody. There's someone who might be out there. You may be that, you may be that, I'm going to say like this self-centered individual. And there is somebody who their energy is like to pour themselves into individuals. So there are people like that as well. So no, there's no one way of being. The key of it is knowing yourself, knowing whom you are. And I see a lot of people, you can't, none of us is fitting in a one little box. Each of us are different. But just as long as you understand who you are, then you have then you understand, the people that's going to be brought to you, and you got to see what's more important for you, because you're gonna get those people, okay? And if you get too much, people, I want a nice guy, say nice guys finish last. You get a nice guy, but then you don't like him because he's too nice. All right, you don't like him because he gives you all the things that you talked about. You say you wanted, and you be like, "That's too much. He's doing too much. He's not." I hear these type of conversation. He's too nice, and he just do everything I want. I'm like,
that's because we don't think we're deserving.
Right?
Not we. Let me rephrase for you.
Yeah.
That personality, that spirit, that they don't think they're deserving. Well, they say they want it, but then they don't think they're deserving. That's like the person who wins $1 million and blows it all,
or
because they don't think they should have that money.
Like I said, or I'm gonna say this, that part, I get it, or they really don't know what they want.
That's true too.
And not knowing what you want, or what you know is good for you. Okay, which is more important? What's good for you versus what you literally want.
Right.
Because universe, always consistently, God is a comedian to me. I mean, the biggest comedian in the world. Because you get what you ask for, and then when you get it, you be like,
I'm not ready.
Wait a minute. Like this, but that's what you asked for. You weren't specific.
Right.
You were not specific on what it was. So you got it, and then now you received it. You be like, I don't like that. That's because you didn't know who you were.
Right.
You don't know who you are, and that's why I say self-reflection and understanding. So you can attract the things that's gonna be best for you. And actually, it'd be best for you that you're gonna mature, grow, and maximize. I'm not talking about maximize your potential, maximize who you are on this planet while you're here physically. So that's a very important piece. Something you talked about before we started out, and I just want to say, I was asked a couple weeks ago to be someone's power of attorney. All right, individual I admire, respect, travel all the way around with, around the world with, and physically he's not. Physically he's not doing well, and right now he's in a stable position, and he kind of knew. I guess, we all know what's happening with ourselves. And he asked me, literally, he didn't want his children to be it. And he asked me to be his power of attorney. And it was automatic. I said, I'll do it. So now we're at this stage that, it's like a decision needs to be made now. Right? And and this is still dealing with relationships. This happens to be a man, an older man. Is that decision needs to be made. So now I have to make the decision. Now, what made me get to this point, right? Because it's like self-reflection, meaning not knowing who I am. All right, and this gentleman actually has a great deal understanding of who I am. All right, and he literally said, "Big Dumas, I want you to do it." Right? So now I'm at this crossroad. I got to make a decision with all the emotions around him, right? And to say, okay, now we need to stop this and do this. See, anything we talk, stop this and do that.
Right.
So a couple of nights ago, I had to look in the mirror. And I say,
what you see?
First time I saw why this person chose me to do it.
Oh, I didn't. Really?
I knew. It's a difference between I know who I am.
That's actually a really good idea.
But I thought,
me too.
I thought at that moment, and when I see now, I'm like saying, decision needs to be made.
Right.
Okay. And I'm like, okay, because love had nothing to do.
It was business.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and I was like saying the love part doesn't override the rationale.
Yeah. That's a better word, rationale.
Okay?
Because he loved his kids, but
Right.
he probably knew.
He knew
He knows what he knows.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part to where even in this part, when I say, you know, the difference between men and women a lot of times is that the emotional piece will take over. The love piece will take over. Yeah. Over the rationale.
For some.
For some, I said, you know.
I didn't hear you say the some part. I just heard you
some,
say women. I'm just saying.
Okay, let me say this, son. There's always men and women that has the same thing, but there's a characteristic for men and women. Women generally speaking, because I know some people like,
get it right.
Some people be like, man, he don't know.
That's right, you know what I mean? And I'm with them.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
I'm saying, don't be putting us in the box.
But it's enough of women. You know, there's enough of women, enough of men. I know the elbow coming. Seriously. We all have different attributes.
I agree.
Different dynamics that we move on. Yeah. And, you know, emotionally, not to say men are not emotional, but we show our emotions and our decision-making process differently. I mean, everything is done differently. Our processes are handled differently.
Some men.
Our processes, I said generally speaking. You see that?
I didn't hear the general part.
I did say, we're talking generally speaking. I didn't hear that part. That the processes are different. Right. If you want me to make you feel better, all right, feel better. That is very condescending. I know it very is. And that was intentional. I wasn't trying to hide that. All right. There are men who will respond as if, you know, what we normally would say that's the way a woman would act. I mean, we all have these generalizations. Not to say they're correct, and I'm not afraid to say it. I know when y'all look at certain men, first thing y'all say, I think I'm going all over the place, but I'm gonna bring it right back in the middle.
Yeah, can you bring it back? Because
bring it back in the middle.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So, you know, there's certain aspects of some women will look at a man and say, he acting like a. Oh. All right. He acting like. You know. Yeah. See, I don't need no man to act like no woman. You know, but y'all use the B word. Okay, so you understand what I'm saying, okay? But a lot of times you don't like me to put it in those terms, okay? But I'm gonna put it in those terms, all right? And also there's men who will say, "Yo, dude, I don't need to be dating another dude. I need." You understand?
Talking about a woman.
I'm talking about a woman. I don't need dating a dude. You know, I don't need. I'm with my boys, all right? That's combative. I don't need a woman being combative. Right. All right. I get that. Getting back to the, you know, making the decisions now. Yes. Getting back to that, you know, it's less emotional dynamics to it. You gotta put the emotions aside. Okay. And make these decisions based on what the true rationale is and what needs to be for everybody, even if everybody doesn't know what's the best decision to be made at that particular time. Okay. Okay. So I just say that to say, and it brought me back to the gentleman who asked me to be his power of attorney, because of my love for him. I mean, I truly have a love for him, and you know, I had to look in the mirror and say, look, you know, I'm looking. Oh, he's getting a little better today. No. So your point to that story was that we all have to look at ourselves in the mirror, regardless of the situation, and know who you are. And know who you are. That's the point. Especially in a relationship. Trying to get in a relationship. I'm trying to bring it back for the audience. No, she did it. She did it. Yeah. Okay, I had a comment and a question for you. Sure. First of all, I don't know that you all know that R.Christopher is a spiritual beast. He's a spiritual beast. He act crazy, but he's a spiritual beast. So I go to him many times for counsel as far as certain things goes. And I have a question. Do you believe that, you know, we talked about attracting what you want, being who you want, right? You got to be that person that you want for someone else to be that to you, right? Do you believe that if you're doing something with someone, let's say you're hanging out for now, it's fun, sex is good, you're traveling, whatever, right? And you're having fun. But you know that person is not for you, right? For whatever reasons. Maybe they don't want the same things you want, but you guys are compatible in many other ways. Absolutely. If you want more, now let me say this. Every woman does not want to be in a relationship and be married, all that. I get that. I understand that. I respect it. But if you want more than that person is willing to give you,
but you're willing to spend time with this person and connect with them on a physical level, are you blocking the person who is coming to you, who does want what you want? Are you blocking that blessing by spending your time with someone that you know is not going further than we hanging out for a day?
Well, you just said something prior to that. They already pretty much gave you the answer. You know this is not the person that you're going to spend your life with and you want to get in that relationship with, right? That's what you said. You said, I know this is not the person. However,
I'm not speaking for me.
No.
Oh, okay.
We're talking generally.
Okay,
right?
okay.
All right. See,
No, I'm only saying that because you said you already know the answer. I know I know the answer.
No.
But I'm asking for the audience.
Well, I got that. So
Okay.
I'm saying,
People forget we're on camera.
The answer. The answer.
Well, sis.
The answer is that if you know you connecting on certain levels, everybody is not in your life to be there for the long haul for all the things that you need. But there are certain things that you need that actually assist you into opening the doors for what you.
That's what I believe.
Okay. So, I hear people, and again, this goes back to knowing whom you are. If you can't be true to that, if you can't be true to that, then I will advise, then you really don't know yourself. If you know that, I'm being intimate with this individual, I know this is not anything for the long haul, what it is to do, but when during those times, I get a lot of epiphanies, I get a lot of information. It helps me be, that all the endorphins in my body is healing. So, why not do that? All right. As long as you all are being real with each other and understand what that is. There's two consenting adults.
So you don't think that it's blocking what you might want later?
No, it's only blocking when you might want later if you're not being real or true to yourself, or if you're trying to use those moments to manipulate. If you're using those moments to manipulate the dynamic,
that's not the case.
Right. I'm saying,
right.
I mean,
that's not the case of the question, is what I'm saying. It's not the case of the question. I want to stay to the question. We got to close in a minute. So I'm just trying to get to the question.
No, you wasn't. You
No, I was saying that's not the case of the question.
I got you.
Of the question, we both know what we're doing.
I just leave it there. We're going to have
He don't want what you want.
Yeah, but both of you are.
But you don't want that with him either.
Right.
But things are good right now until you run into the right brother.
Until you run into the right brother.
Or sister, for that matter.
Yeah, so brother, sister. And so the key of it is as long as two consenting adults, you go and you flow and you do with it. You go with it. As long as you're being straightforward with each other and knowing that this is what you're doing.
And you're not trying to change that person.
And you're not trying to change that person to be with them. If you can sit down and talk and have a conversation and laugh about that, and then also say, look, I could, and I'm going on a date, I'm doing this. If that's, depending on the relationship that you two choose to have, that's what you're attracting right now in the moment, because that possibly, more than likely, is what you desire.
Right.
And what you need.
That's kind of where I was going. Yeah. I'm glad you said, because I wanted to make sure, is that person, if you attracted that person, but it's different, it's a different attraction.
And for whatever
for the moment.
For the moment, whatever that is.
As long as you can handle it.
As long as you're being honest, honest. As long as you're being honest with yourself and honest with the person that you're dealing with. You're being straightforward, You just got to know what that is. I'm not one to, there's a lot of, I'm saying, there's a lot of dynamics that are going on because of people's belief systems that have you, to me, miss out on a lot of blessings. You're restricting yourself. People restrict their higher powers because of their belief systems, and I just don't follow certain belief systems. But to each his own. And like I said, but it suits them. Whatever you following, it suits them at the moment. But the key that there's no belief system that I know is in existence to talk about you being unhappy.
Oh, wow, that's deep.
Okay.
You never said that to me.
All right.
I'm just saying, you never said it. When we have conversation, you never said it to me.
Anyway.
Like, sis,
Maybe,
be happy.
maybe she need to hear it now. Maybe this is the time for it. You understand what I'm saying? That's a part of the dynamics too. You know?
That was deep though.
Anyway, but it's
That's
like
true, and it's true.
None of them say not to be happy. But if you're in a belief system and you're not happy,
because of the belief system.
Because of the belief system.
Oh, I see how you.
Okay, because you're in the belief system, because mentally you're in the belief system, but spiritually it's telling you something else.
Right.
You know, and you have these draws. You know, people say some people are very sensual and sexual beings. If you just want to talk about that, that's innately who they are, and that's innately who they're supposed to be. And we look at that, and we look down upon it.
I never thought about that.
There are some people who are just not sensual, sexual beings, and that's not what their existence is about. So our existence is based on our path and our karmas, what we've created. It's the cycles. So you can believe what you want to believe. You know, you can live how you want to live.
Right.
But I just don't. You know, and my understanding is none of those things say, you have an existence of being unhappy or not enjoying or maximizing your being, you're maximizing your abilities. Okay. I'm really big on maximizing your abilities and your talents, and that's a God's gift. That's the universe gives to you as long as you're on these paths. So, I think that's what we need to be focused on.
You know what? This is the first time in a long time that we've had conversations in general where I've agreed with everything you said. I don't know what's happening right now. And you left me kind of like without words. That was dope. And I was about to ask him to give us his last words of wisdom, but I think we're going to stop it right there because that was awesome. That truth is awesome. I'm going to write that down for myself and remind myself of what you just said. That's awesome. I appreciate you.
Always, sister.
We're gonna have some. We're about to spend some time together. And I'm gonna pick his brain. I'm gonna ask many questions. And don't forget what I told you. If y'all don't have one of these, get you one. Get you a brother, a friend, a mentor, a confidant. You are a confidant. You don't tell my business, do you? I know I'm just playing. No. Because I do be telling him my business. Yeah. I mean, I think that's important. I think having friendships like yours helps me in my relationships with men. Because I get the other side of it, and I listen. I actually listen.
Vice versa. Being I'm an alum of Morehouse, and we have sister Spelman's, Morehouse Spelman sister. One of the things they do is you have a Spelman sister, and they have a Morehouse brother. The first thing I tell the young brothers, I said, don't sleep with your Spelman sister.
Oh, right. You need to keep that relationship.
I said, keep that relationship. I said, they're introduced to you. Now, I can't say none of them never happened to be in relationships and they actually go on and be really great relationships.
Right.
Well, most of them don't end that way. And I tell them, don't make the mistake to take a woman, and I say the same thing on a man. I mean, because you're attractive physically, you don't value that relationship of that energy of the opposite sex to help and assist you of what it is that you minimize in. You minimize that what's minimum to you is that femininity and that feminine energy because you're a male.
Right.
And you're a maximum and outside of the two-spirit scenario, but that's another conversation too. But outside of the masculine relationship, the masculinity that you have and you possess as a man, those two relationships outside of intimacy and just being true friends, where, I hear people, comedians on it make this line, I've said it before, that, oh, no, you can't be. Yeah, in your mind, if you in your mind, first of all, almost thinking, okay, because she's a woman, the first thing I'm thinking about, I can have sex with her. Okay, but that's a very low vibrational, low energy individual. And you want to maximize going higher. But those relationships, and like we're talking about ours, is real key. And once you have it, you value it, and it take you so far in your life that you don't even realize, that this is the reason why these people or persons are in your life for a reason. And you just value them. regardless, men, women,
Right.
vice versa. So it's important.
Thank you, brother. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you again for being here, taking the time to be on about this
Hey,
aging thing.
That's right.
You guys don't forget, don't let aging dictate the way you get older.
No.
I love you guys.